and a very warm welcome to yet another bite-sized marketing session with me, Miles from Miles Marketing. And as you will see, the subject of today is AI. I used a little lowercase I there so you'd actually know what we was talking about, and marketing. Now, AI is a hot topic. It was just on the news today that AI is going to destroy the world within a couple of years. So that's quite scary. But in the meantime, let's capitalize on it and use it for marketing purposes. Let's not worry about it destroying the world. Although maybe that should be the subject of a chat another day. Let me just remind you that next week we have our monthly special guest, and we have the fantastic Rory joining us, who is a recruitment specialist, and he's going to be talking you through how to attract the right types of people for the roles that you have on offer. I've done some practicing with him today, and he's got a great presentation to share with you. So I ask you to go on to the events page, click attend, and make sure that it's in your diary for next week at 12:30. The fantastic Rory is going to be sharing some amazing recruitment nuggets with you. Oh, my light's gone all flickery. Ooh. It's the AI. Let me just check that we are indeed live on the internet, and it says that we are. Be sharing some amazing. And I can see we've got a few people already online. So welcome. If you have any specific questions about AI, please pop them in the chat, and I'll do my very best to answer them. I'm by no means an expert in AI. However, I have been using it for my own business. To give you the backstory, with my monthly customers where I manage their marketing, I do outsource marketing for them. With them all, we were providing a service where we created blogs for them on a monthly basis. SEO-packed blogs for the website, and I used a professional copywriter to write the copy and include the keywords. Writing blogs is not just, well, you can just write them, okay? But if you want them to have an impact on SEO and be found by people searching for keywords, then you need to do your research. And I used a research tool to research the keywords and phrases that we should be including. And then through an online portal, the copywriter would go in and write the blogs on the particular subject using the particular keywords. So it was quite labor intensive, and it used to cost hundreds of pounds. I won't tell you exactly how much it cost, but it used to cost my customers hundreds of pounds a month for this service, and they were very happy with this service. But when ChatGPT specifically came about, they were all asking me, well, Miles, why can't we just do this now through AI? And my immediate reaction was, but we put a lot of work into these things, which in fact we did, or we do. However, it got me thinking that maybe we need to embrace AI and offer a slightly different service. So now, as part of my bite-sized marketing suite of products, I do have AI blog creation, and all of my monthly customers have switched over to this service because it saves them hundreds of pounds a month in terms of their outgoing, and they get a product which is, and there's not enough sort of time gone by to see whether it's going to be as good as what was being generated previously, but certainly it's doing a job and creating fresh content for their website that can be uploaded on a monthly basis, and it's still full of keywords. So I've embraced AI as part of my marketing offering, and I've also embraced AI as part of my marketing for my business and for my customers' businesses, because at the end of the day, I strongly believe that these kind of technologies need to be utilized and harnessed in a way in which they can improve your efficiency. And especially for people like myself, I do struggle. I haven't been diagnosed as a dyslexic, but I'm pretty sure that if I took a test, I probably would be. I do struggle with spelling and grammar and actually spotting these things in the first place. I can read a piece of text 10 times and miss the most obvious. I can come back to it, and then the 11th time I can spot it and wonder why on earth I haven't spotted it previously. But that's just how my brain works. So by using AI, it's helping me with my business. Now, like I say, it's a hot topic, so I'm going to run through some of the basic overarching stuff to do with AI, and then we'll talk about specifics in terms of your marketing. Now, you may have heard of ChatGPT. It seems to be the one on everybody's lips at the moment, but there are a lot of others out there. There's the new Bing. So Bing, the search engine, there's the new Bing one available. There's Jasper, there's UChat, there's ChatSonic, there's Google Bard, which is very similar to ChatGPT. There's one specifically for graphic generation, DALL-E. I think it's named after Wall-E. So there's plenty out there. And, you know, the new Google, it's been powered by Palm 2. The Google Bard is very, very similar to ChatGPT. And I think in terms of how Google are probably going to evolve AI within their system, I think we are going to see some big changes within Google search across the next coming months and years using this AI technology. What are we going to say? I'm going to give you a couple of fun pointers. If you haven't used an AI, by all means, go onto the internet, search for AI tools. But let's just take ChatGPT as a starting point. You can go into ChatGPT and you can have some fun. So why don't you go in there and write something like, write me a song based around the key subject of Miles Phillips and his dog called Spot. And it'll go away and it will write you a number of verses of a song about Miles and his dog Spot. The reason why I sort of suggest you try this is you can then enhance this particular song by amending the instructions that you're giving the chat feed. So you can then say something like, include the fact that Miles works in a architect's and he has a son called Rupert and he enjoys eating ice cream, whatever it is, right? You can ask it to amend and refine this song based on the other things that you input into it. So it's a really fun way to sort of understand, if you like, the capabilities of the AI ChatGPT, right? So after this, why don't you go ahead and knock yourself out? Not physically, obviously. But, you know, let's take a moment to think about where AI is currently, because I think with all of the hype in the media, we think that AI has just been invented. That is far from reality. I did a little bit of research and, you know, ultimately AI, at the heart of AI is an algorithm, a mathematical formula. Okay. And those have been around for quite some time. You know, in its basic form, an algorithm, you could say it's, you know, the original sort of cipher, you know, the Enigma code, you know, was that sort of an algorithm? Some may say yes, some may say no. But in 1956, the first piece of AI, artificial intelligence, was deemed to be developed. And then I thought this was very interesting. In 1965, a gentleman called Joseph Weisbaum at MIT in America, he created the first chatbot. This is back in 1965, and she was called Eliza. That's a bit close to Alexa, isn't it? Yeah. So it's been around for a while. All right. So do we think that AI is going to take over the world? Well, it has been integrated into our life. We're watching this on LinkedIn. There's an algorithm, all right? There's AI that dictates what you get to see within your feed on LinkedIn on a daily basis. It's integrated into all of the search engines. If you think about manufacturing in terms of automation, robotics, making cars, making washing machines, etc., aerospace, agriculture, video games, even Netflix, right? You know, you turn on your Netflix and it comes up with suggestions for you based on what you've been watching previously. It asks you, do you like this? Do you really like this? And it takes that into account when it's recommending other similar suggestions to you. Even things like your Face ID on your phone that you've used a number of times today, I'm sure. You know, the Internet of Things, that all uses algorithms as well to, you know, check that you've got enough milk in your fridge, right? Things like, you know, Photoshop, your coffee maker, your baby monitoring system, right? All of these things use artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence is, AI is about mimicking humans and human behavior to come up with outcomes. You will also see maybe ML, machine learning. Now that's slightly different. That enhances, you know, the sort of the research around the power of the AI algorithm. So there's that sort of machine learning, which is the stuff that's going on in the background to enhance that AI, the human mimicking. They are sort of two separate things. Not sure I explained that very well, but look, I think it will probably all be referred to as AI as a catch-all subject. Oh, no questions yet. Get them in if you have any. So I think that, you know, it's important to remember that ChatGPT or any other of these chatbots will only produce good product, right, based on the input that you give it. So it's really important that you input as much detail as you possibly can to get the most accurate output from it. Okay. If you ask it a vague general question or you give it a vague general instruction, it will just grab what it can off the internet and probably give you quite a vague general answer. Specific is terrific. And if you are specific in what you ask it, you do get some phenomenal answers back. So think about the commands that you put in. And at the end of this session, I'm going to give you my top 3 tips around AI. And what I did for a bit of fun was I asked the AI to give me a top 3 tips, and we'll see what it came up with, right? We'll see whether or not it suggested anything wildly different to what I thought. But what I want you to think about is that regardless of how powerful it is, it can only really give you an answer if you're asking a question based on the information that is either in its database or out there in the internet, you know, as a whole, right? And we all know that the internet is not necessarily full of the correct information sometimes, right? So I'm going to say to you that if you want to start using ChatGPT specifically, an AI an AI generating piece of software, then be very specific. And here's an example. So if I was, I'll come on to that in a second, but it's really important to sort of play around with this and to write yourself a few basic scripts. Okay. Not computer scripts, but sort of like little bits of text that encapture some of the core things that you'll want to do around generating content, right? So think about this. So I, at the moment, still write some content. All right, I write it first because then it's really quite accurate in terms of what I'm trying to get across. And then I ask the AI to rewrite it in a particular style. And I find then that I get a really nice sort of hybrid of what I wanted to say and maybe a better way of saying it from the AI. So think about giving it commands like, rewrite this LinkedIn post as an authority in engineering and make it impactful. Include these particular keywords, X, Y, and Z, wherever those keywords are, and make the post no more than 5,000 characters long, right? And then you include your text and it will rewrite it with those parameters in mind. It's quite fascinating, I've got to tell you. So I would suggest that you get started, start to sort of play around with it and think about, the tone of voice that you want to try and get across. It may be something like, take this complex problem and explain it for dummies. And it'll simplify it and explain it. So how do you use AI within your marketing? Let me just give you some ideas here. First of all, content creation. So ChatGPT is being integrated into lots of tools now for social media content generation. Canva is one of them. So Canva, where you create your nice sort of images and messaging, there's now a facility within that to create some personalized messages using ChatGPT. I'm just looking for the name of it. It's called Magic Write. Yeah, and it uses the API plugin from ChatGPT within their own software. So you're on the Canva portal, but it's using ChatGPT to generate the content. And you put into it, I want to create a LinkedIn post all about how wonderful Miles is from Miles Marketing, and he talks about his bite-sized marketing every week. And you hit go and it'll produce you your content. Very, very clever stuff. It can always as well give your email marketing a bit more punch. So let's say that you've got some email templates and you send those out and you get a decent sort of response from them. Why don't you lift that copy, stick it through ChatGPT and ask it to enhance it? Maybe ask it to give it more impact, or to suggest better headlines to you, or whatever it may be, right? You'll be surprised at what it can do. What about creating original graphics? Now, I'm going to say that at the moment, that sort of, we've all seen the deep fake stuff that you've seen the guy who pretends to be Tom Cruise online and it's not Tom Cruise, but it looks like Tom Cruise. There's some great software out there. There is also some software now for generating like an avatar to produce videos. So you tell the video what you tell the software what you want it to create, and it'll create you this video with an avatar. It may even look like you, but it's not you. For me, the lip syncing of it, the sort of the personality around it isn't quite there. However, in the not too distant future, right, I'm telling you that this can really help, especially people that don't like talking to camera, right? So imagine a world where, you know, you've got this personal services company, you are the brand, but you hate being on camera. And when I tell you that video is going to become more important than any kind of content out there shortly, using AI to generate video content using your face, pretending to be you, is going to be invaluable, right? Because all you're going to have to do is scan in your face and write the script, and it'll do it all for you. You can see, you can probably pretend to be American or whatever you want to do. You can come up with a different accent. So you can create original graphics as well for maybe your website or a brochure or your social media. There are platforms that you can go on. I mentioned one which was called Delhi. I'm just flicking back. Yeah, DALL-E after Wally. And in Delhi, you can create brand new images. So again, it's about creating sort of original content, because one of the things about, say, creating blog content or creating a website is if you grab an image from an image bank and that image is used a lot, you'll get marked down on SEO for using, you know, not original content, right? So by using original content, it's going to score higher in SEO in terms of the algorithm finding your stuff. Think about blogs. So, you know, let me just talk a little bit about the blog creation stuff, because I'm doing that at the moment. So I agree a title with the client. We've already agreed keywords for their industry. So, you know, I will ask the system to create a blog so many words long in a particular style and including certain keywords. And what I tend to do is it's not as easy as just asking it and pressing return. I generate the content and then I refine it. And what I found is that actually the refining of the AI generated content gives you a much better end product than just lobbing all of the stuff in, you know, into your script up front and just expecting it to have created the perfect piece for you. It's great for like updating your profiles or your bios. What a lot of people don't realize is that things like LinkedIn, right, they are another way for you to get found online, right? It's another search. Think of it as another search engine. So when you've come off here, have a look at your profile, have a look at your bio, have a look at the description of what it is that you offer. And let's say that you're allowed 5,000 characters within your description. Write 5,000 characters and include the keywords regarding your products and services. I can tell you that you're going to be found a lot quicker and a lot more often when people are searching for your products and services if you've maxed out the available wording within the description of your profile. So think about that. Think about rewriting your bio. Sometimes you get a bit stuck, right? You know what you do. Well, use AI to help you. Yeah, this is my bio. Rewrite it to make me an authority within a particular field. Okay, see what it does. Things like your website. I'm guilty of this, right? I created a website that I didn't want a lot of words on it. But with not having a lot of words on it, then, you know, I don't get found so often for different keywords because I haven't got enough words on my website. So recently I've created more words and I'm going to be updating my website soon. But I did that using ChatGPT to generate more content around certain subjects. Yeah, because these things can be, you know, we're not all brilliant at doing all stuff all of the time, right? So let's use technology to help us where we can either become more efficient or we perhaps haven't got an expertise. So, you know, you can even ask it to write you a marketing plan. Now, a lot of people may sort of say, Miles, aren't you going to be done out of a job? Well, you know, look, maybe part of what I do will be taken away by AI eventually. But what I think I can offer as a very experienced marketer is the ability to adapt and react and take in sort of a lot of information that maybe AI can't at the moment process about your business, because maybe it is so niche and maybe the AI doesn't have all of that information available to it or all of those tactics. So there's definitely a space there for humans to still get on and interact, but we're going to have to adapt and evolve and use AI as part of our business. And I'm going to say as well that one of the really cool things about AI is it takes personalization beyond Dear Mr. Jones, yeah, or Dear Jack, right? You know, think about rewriting your email communication or your physical letters that you send out with more splatterings of Jack throughout your communication. But also think about like the demographics. Maybe you've got a product or service where you do want to offer suggestions or suggested products to different people. So let's say that I landed on your website as a 50-year-old male, right, who wears glasses and, you know, drinks his coffee from Cafe Nero. Maybe you would gratuitous plug. Maybe you would show me a different product than a Gen X or a millennial who landed on your site. So maybe think about that, the tailoring, the personalization that AI can help you with. Right, we're coming to the fun bit now. These are my, not AI, these are my top 3 tips for getting started with AI. And the first one is AI is only as good as the information that you're putting into it, okay? You're only going to get out really what you tell it. And the more specific information that you put into it, the more refining that you do about the content that it creates, the better the outcome it's going to be. Tip number 2 is to try it, to get involved with it. You know, any platform out there, I would say dabble in a couple, but pick one and start to get used to how it works. Get involved. Do that little thing about, you know, write me a song and include this, that, and the other. And I think it's a really cool way to understand how this whole thing sort of works, and maybe it'll spark some light bulb moments as to how you can adapt that for your business. Personally, the way I do it for my marketing is I sit down, I write the rough content that I want, and then I ask the AI to rewrite it in a particular style with some particular keywords, and then I refine it, because, you know, there is a function on there to regenerate the answer. You don't have to take the first answer that it comes up with. So get involved and have a play around. And the last tip from me is think about creating a Word document where you are generating the scripts so you don't have to rewrite them every single time. So once you get used to things and you're writing, say, specifically for your social media content, and you've come up with your tone of voice, then think about creating a spreadsheet or a Word document where you just have these little scripts where it sort of says, write me a thing in the style of so-and-so with the angle of being an expert in this, that, and the other, make it light-hearted, write it in the Queen's English, include these keywords. So you can just copy and paste them in so that the generation of the content is a lot more accurate for you in terms of what you need. Yeah, there's my top 3 for you. But I thought it'd be a bit of fun to ask ChatGPT what its top 3 pointers were for AI. And this is what it came back with. It came back with big paragraphs, right? So I haven't pulled them all off, but I pulled off what the headlines were. And its tip number 1 was to define a goal and your problem statement. So it's a little bit like what I was saying about your script. Think about what you're going to ask it. And what it was basically saying was that, you know, the more detail you can give it, the better and the more accurate an answer it's going to give you back. It suggests that you learn the basics of AI. For me, that was a little bit geeky, and it went a little bit geeky. And then I asked it to simplify it for dummies, and it did a little bit, but it still sort of started like having quite a deep dive into AI. But look, I think, yeah, the more you understand AI, the more you can get out of it. And it says here, start small and learn by doing. And that was something I said, you know, just get involved, start using it and see where it takes you. So if you've been interested in this chat about AI and you want to know a little bit more, I'm more than happy to have more conversations about AI. It's going to be a part of my business. I'm sure it's going to be a part of yours going forward. We can dive deeper into what AI is doing. I'm really keen to look at how it's bringing images into the fray and how video especially is going to become a big part of search going forward, because, you know, AI is generating a lot of blog content these days, and I know that the search engine is going to start to give more weight towards video content, especially video content that's being created by human beings rather than AI. Okay, right. So, you know, maybe try me out on my AI bite-size blog generation if you need that for your business. But as usual, you can get in touch. There's been no questions today, but my WhatsApp is on the screen. You can send me an inappropriate GIF anytime you like to start our conversation. And I suppose, don't forget, next week, we have the fantastic Rory talking all about recruitment. So if you're a business owner and you hire people, definitely tune in to that one. There we go. Ta-ta for now.